Hi everyone, I'm Shelly from There's No Place Like Home at redheadmom8.wordpress.com. Over the last couple of months, I have been sharing with you some techniques that you can use to incorporate notebooking into your homeschool. So today I'm going to keep going with that theme, and I'm going to share with you a quick video on how to incorporate notebooking in with your textbooks. And the reason that I say short video is because this is a technique that we have not actually specifically used in our homeschool because we don't really use textbooks other than for math or for phonics for my younger kids. So that's why it's going to be a little bit shorter than usual, because I'm not actually going to have a visual to show you this is what we're doing. I'm just going to give you some quick tips on how you can do it. Because we did used to use textbooks. We used them for about the first 5 years that we were homeschooling. And then even my daughter, who graduated last year, even after the rest of us had moved away from them, she preferred to use textbooks because she was familiar with it from her days in school. And so she actually asked for them. But one thing that she did complain about a lot was the section reviews and all of the things that she had to do at the end of each chapter. She didn't mind reading it, and she did say that she found some of it boring, but she was okay with that. The things that really got her were the section reviews and the vocabulary at the end, and this is really something that you find common with most textbooks. So I actually never even thought of this when she was still doing school, because at this point we were just beginning our notebooking journey, so I really wasn't very comfortable with it yet myself. But this is something that I've actually thought about for a while, and this is something that I've actually decided that maybe some of you can use, because I know that there are people who do use textbooks in their homeschool. Because it's something that they're familiar with, they feel comfortable with it, but they feel the same way that my daughter was, that they're a bit dry, they're a bit boring, and you know, those reviews and the section, the vocabulary and the section questions, or the questions at the end of the section, they're just something that they really wish they didn't have to do. So yeah, so here's one of the reviews, and yeah, my daughter never really enjoyed that. So the way that you can incorporate notebooking into your textbooks is to completely skip those section reviews. Skip the reviews. Don't even pretend that they're not even there. So notebooking isn't something that you're going to do in addition to filling out that vocabulary and answering those questions and doing the review. This is something that you are going to do instead of that. And I really think that it's a more effective way to learn, because what you're going to do is you're going to give your kids the choice of notebooking about something that they read about that day. Because with the section review questions, a lot of times it will ask specific questions, and then your child goes back and looks in the book to find the answer, and then they write the answer down, and then they go to the next question. And it kind of reminds me of that whole rote memorization thing. You know, I don't really think that it's something that kids are going to remember. So what I really like about notebooking with textbooks is that since your children are being given the choice, since your kids are being given the choice of choosing what they want to write about, chances are that is something that really stuck out in their mind as they were reading. So when they are writing a notebooking page on it, it is something that is going to cement that information further into their mind. So the way that you can do this is you can just pick up like a regular composition book. This is just one from the Dollar Tree that one of my kids decorated. Or you can just pick up a 3-ring binder, and you can keep that for a specific subject, or you could even keep a binder and put dividers in between if you're going to have your child notebook for different subjects. But before I even move on with how to do it, as I'm on that thought, I just want to tell you that you don't want to have your child notebook for every subject every day, because that is going to take the fun out of notebooking like that. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is have your child notebook for, I'd say, 1 subject a day, possibly 2 if they're older and if they really enjoy writing, if they really enjoy notebooking, then go for 2. I would say usually to stick to about 1. So the way that you can do that is you can choose maybe only 1 subject that they're going to notebook about, and then they will do 1 notebooking page each day for that subject. Or possibly they could have like a rotation of notebooking pages. You know, one day they might notebook about science, and then the next day they could do a notebooking page for history, and then the next day they could do a notebooking page for English, or something along that line. So that's just some tips that I want to just let you know, because notebooking is something that we can really use to help our kids really enjoy writing. But you're going to take that from them real fast if you have them doing it every single day for every single subject. And even adults wouldn't enjoy doing that very much. So just keep that in mind. But anyway, so after you would get the binder or the composition book. Now there are other options that you can use. Some people actually have things spiral bound themselves. Some people have things comb bound themselves. And some people will even just use the regular spiral notebooks. But I will point out with those that I have noticed that when we have used them, the pages rip out really easily with those. So I wouldn't recommend them unless your kids are very neat and are not going to kind of like wrinkle the paper or anything when they're doing it, which my kids tend to do that a lot. So we stay away from those now that I've learned that. So anyway, you get these notebooks, and then you just ask your child, to read whatever section it is that they have to read today. And you say to them, I want you to do a notebooking page about something that you read about today. And I found that kids really seem to enjoy it when they are given the option of how to go about doing this. Now, if you're more comfortable with it, you can ask your child, say, maybe to write a list of facts or to write a summary of what they've read about. But what I have found is really more engaging for the kids is to give them a list of options of things that they can do. And you can certainly include, have them write a list of facts or have them write a summary of it in the list, but give them more options too, and let them decide in the end how it is that they want to convey that information that they read that day. So some ways that they can do that other than summaries or just a list of facts are by writing maybe a character analysis, or maybe an analysis of a historical figure, or like a biography. They could also write a comic strip that would actually show specific scenes from whatever they were reading about. The point of this is that no matter what they do, they really have to show that they have learned something that day. So it could even be a fictional story, if they would write an alternate ending to a battle that they read about, or if they would go a little bit more in depth about it. Some kids who are more artistic might enjoy doing a really detailed drawing. And with that, I would really say that if they go into a lot of detail, and it really is showing that they completely understood what they were reading about, that is perfectly fine. Now, sometimes you might ask them to just add a few sentences, maybe a caption or two. But really, the options just go on and on. You could have them write brochures. You could have them make a postcard out of it. But again, these are all things that I would give them as suggestions. I wouldn't tell them all the time, this is what I want you to do today. Now, sometimes you might alternate. One day you might give them the total freedom to do it however they want, but the next day you might say to them, hey, you know what, today I really would like if you would write a summary of that. So anyway, that is really all that you need to do with notebooking with textbooks. It's just really similar to notebooking with library books, in that they're reading and then they're conveying the information in their notebooks. And so I will actually link to that video down below if you'd like to see how that they do that. I can hear my kids screaming. Always in the last few videos, I always end with my kids screaming. So anyway, now I lost my train of thought, because that happens to me when my kids start acting up. Okay, so anyway, yes. Oh, one more thing that I wanted to say is that the best place to find notebooking pages, which I forgot to talk about, is with these binders, you're going to want to use notebooking pages, or at least that's what we really like to use. Because it makes it more interesting for the kids. They have little squares that the kids can draw in, and they have lines, or sometimes it might be a square taking up half the page with lines underneath, so then they could have the illustration and the drawing underneath. So the kids really seem to like to be able to choose what page they're going to use too. That also adds some variety. So my favorite place for that is notebookingpages.com. I will link to the description box below for that. And I am also going to link to a PDF that I actually made up with a whole list of different options that your kids can use for notebooking, different ideas of how they might convey that information. So anyway, If you have any questions, just leave a comment down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Sometimes it takes me a few days, but I will answer you, I promise. If you like this video, I would like if you would give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet and would like to hear more of what I have to say, I would love if you would do that. And I hope you have a great day.